You can only pick one thing that you want out of life, and if you pick the wrong thing, you'll never really be successful. Let me back up. My mentor, Joel Salted, said, the worst thing in life is to get older and realize you got good at the wrong thing. And I see people that are very wealthy, but I don't admire them. I live here in Beverly Hills, there's billionaires all up and down the street. Doesn't mean I would trade lives for them. In fact, the best test is, I call it the exchange test. Would you trade lives? And the reason that almost anybody I meet, I wouldn't trade lives for them, it's not because they're not smart, it's not because they're not good people. It's because, one simple thing, they're optimizing for the wrong thing. So let's say you say, I want to be an entrepreneur. That's not something you should optimize for. That's ridiculous. Here's why. You have one life. Maybe we go to heaven or hell after, maybe there's an afterlife, maybe there isn't. I've never been there, so I can't speak on it. But I can tell you, you get one chance on this planet. And if you optimize for an entrepreneur, what about your health? What about love? What about happiness? I know miserable entrepreneurs that are fat, out of shape. I don't want to be them. I know a dude that, not a close friend of mine, but a friend of an entrepreneur friend. This guy's a billionaire, but he's so fat he can't get out of bed. His $2 billion, he has a private 747 jet. So would I want to be him? No. He optimized for the wrong thing. He optimized to make $2 billion, but he forgot, why would you want to have $2 billion if you don't have health? I always remember what Joel Salatin said, nothing worse in life than realizing you got good at the wrong thing. That guy got good at the wrong thing. It's irrefutable. You cannot argue with that. Why would you give your health up to gain money? There's a saying that when people are young, they lose their health to get wealth, and when they're old, they use their wealth to get back their health. It's a circular logic, and circular in this case is illogical. It's stupid. People are stupid. If I could go back in time, I'd realize most people are lost. Literally, most people are lost. I'm talking about the people who write. You know, I got the biggest book club in the world. I know top authors and all these people. They might be smart in one specific domain, but if you look at their life, I wouldn't exchange for it. There's a few people that I've met that when I look back, I'm like, you know, one of them, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not everything, but he was healthy, he was strong, he changed the world, he made gyms hot. Gyms come from Arnold Schwarzenegger. He made that shit hot. All the gyms all over America just from Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger. Now other people worked on it, but not like him. He motivated people, became a self-made millionaire before 30. He wanted to act. Acting's an art. He was an artist. He became, you know, maybe he wasn't the best actor in the world. He's not bad. I was actually in his kitchen a couple months ago, just like this, me and him talking, smoking cigars. He's a good actor. Like I said, he might not be, you know, Academy Award, but he got the good life. His son was there, his kids were there at his house. He's happy, he's friends, he's got social life. You gotta have health, wealth, love, happiness. If you at any point optimize for anything that doesn't involve all four of them, you're making the biggest mistake in the world. Entrepreneur people go, I want to become an entrepreneur. No, you don't want to become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a means to an end. You don't want to live your life lifting weights. It's a means to an end. To put on muscle, to increase your metabolism, to change the direction of your telomere growth. You get older because the way your telomeres, your cells, change size. Lifting weights has been proven to reverse that. You want anti-age, that's why you lift weights. But you don't live a life to lift weights. If you met anybody and say, what is your life for? Oh, I want to take a piece of steel and go like this. They're a fool. It's a means to an end. And the second in life you make the tool the end, you're like the carpenter whose goal is to hold a hammer, not create a house you can live in. You hire somebody not to hold a hammer. The tool's irrelevant. If they could do it without it, I'm sure at some point in the future they'll be able to build houses without hammers. So they'll get rid of them. At some point, we might evolve as a society where you don't need entrepreneurs. There's some collective intelligence that works together. The smartest people coalesce, and it's this single focus entrepreneurs. You might not need Bill Gates. You might not needs Steve Jobs. In fact, some countries like Norway, Denmark, Scandinavia, they have a lot of great things and they don't have it exactly like America. I love America, I'm American, but I'm just saying, entrepreneurialism, capitalism, democracy, they're all an end, they're all a means to the end, and there's only one end, and that's a good life. Now everyone will define good life a tad bit differently. You know, for some people, good life is you travel a lot, but there's some common factors that all people must have. Every fucking person watching this, there's no argument. You must be relatively lean with your body fat. I'm gonna make this real blunt for people. You cannot be overweight. I don't care what anybody tells you. What will a smart scientist tell you? You gotta be lean. Now you don't have to be anorexic, but you have to be lean. So you have to optimize in order to get the good life, to have your hormones churning at the right pace. To be happy is your happiness is predicated on your hormonal balance. You get too much estrogen, you get too much testosterone, you get too much cortisol, too much estradiol. These things mess with you. So a lot of these the simplest predictor of you having screwed up hormones are things like body fat. Now, again, I'm not saying everybody needs to look like a runway model. That's not even what you need to optimize for. But if that's not a big consuming part of your life, I don't give a shit if you live here in Beverly Hills. I'll have a better life than you. Guaranteed. You can make $2 billion, I'll make $100 million. And I'll live long enough to enjoy it. I'm not talking about me specifically. All right. In fact, you can substitute you for me. You. Let somebody else make $2 billion and get so fat that they lay in a bed for the rest of their life. Let them do it. That ain't your concern. You can mention and lend a helping hand and try to guide them back, but like Alan Nation told me, don't try to teach a pig to fly. You can't do it and it bothers the pig. Most people aren't going to listen to this advice. I've always said the best advice nobody will listen to. It's too good. It's too good of advice. People can get lost. I don't become an entrepreneur. Well, I've been an entrepreneur since I'm 16. I am qualified to tell you this. I have started many, many successful companies. Now, there's some entrepreneurs more successful than me, but I only judge them by good life scale. And very few entrepreneurs that I meet past good life. And you can even, it's not even me being judgmental. If I ask them, do you like your life? They're like, oh, I'm burned out, I'm dead, blah, 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 blah. It's taking longer than I thought. So keep your health, and make money a little slower. Love, happiness, social life. This one is even more important in many ways than health. If I had a choice between being overweight and having a lot of good people around me, I'd be overweight and have good people around me. Versus be super skin, super lean, super fit, and nobody likes me. So your social skills is very important. And it's not just social skills. It's not just how to win friends and influence people. It's how to win friends and influence the right people. Because let's be honest here, if you've been on planet Earth for more than 10 or 15 years, you are highly and acutely aware of the fact that most people do not have your best interests at heart. We grow up, if you talk to an evolutionary psychologist, there's a number. It's 150 people. We're optimized to have about 150 friends, family, relatives, acquaintances, and close friends that will have our back. That's it. Now they're spread out because we live in a world of mass transport, people spread all over the world. It's your job in life to find 150 people. It's a very famous number. You can Google it. It's a famous sociologist came up with it. And it's about 150 is what your brain's optimized. The reason is you can keep track of 150 relationships and each of their relationships to the other 150 people. So it's actually, your brain is tracking 10,000 combinations. But I won't digress into more advanced stuff. I'm just trying to give it to you. No school will tell you this. No professor will tell you this. For the most part, no religious person tells you. Definitely presidents, Hillary Clinton, presidential candidate, Donald Trump, they will not tell you this. But if at the end of your life you look back and you know you had a good life, you won. Now I will tell you, finances do play a part in that. If you have de-optimized your financial life, whether it be you're a slave to somebody underpaying you, not delivering value to you, whether you have a job that's not aligned with your personality. There's genetic factors that tell you what career you should choose. Most people pick the wrong career. Why? Because nobody told them. I mean, it almost makes me sick. There's parents out there telling their kids to become dentists so they'll make more money when the kid's artistic. No. If you have kids and they're genuinely talented artists, let them be an artist. I had someone Snapchat, and I get 5,000-10,000 Snapchats a day. Somebody said, Tai, I've been a classical pianist since I was like 8, and I'm like 25, and my parents are pressuring me to give it up because they said there's no money. I'm like, fuck them. Just because they're parents don't mean they'll give you good advice. Trust me, parents' interests are not always aligned with their children. You don't believe me? Read Evolutionary Psychology textbook by Dr. David Buss. Parents have 50% of your genes, not 100%. Only you have 100%. Parents will often pick favorites. They will often want to live out their fantasies through you. They'll often be fear-based. Be a poor artist better than a wealthy dentist, and you hate it. Now, I believe, and the good news for the parents is, you can become a classical pianist, and using modern entrepreneurial skills and modern social media skills, I believe you can make a good living. You might not be the next Bill Gates. You will not be the next Warren Buffett if you're a classical pianist. There's no chance. But who cares? You can still, for you, be experiencing the mental state of I'm living a good life, which is the only goal to optimize.